Hello and welcome, my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your romantic, timeless soulmate read, though I am doing it in October 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, lYONS Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of lYONS, Mark Angelo lYONS. But you can call me Mal. Hi. My subscribers, my friends, thank you so very much for your love and support, particularly this week. So many of you have reached out and wished me and my friend well. We won't talk about it here, but thank you, particularly those of you who are in the Mark Angelo lYONS Mal for short private Facebook group. Your warmth and your prayers have been very helpful. And also your likes and your subscribes and all of that too, getting back to business here. If you are new to my channel, please do consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell and all that stuff, commenting to help me get my work out there. I'm getting closer and closer to 2,000 subs. I'm shooting for 30,000 because I'm a Virgo, what can I tell you? I don't mind slow and steady wins the race, but you know, asking for help ain't a problem because at 30,000 subscribers, I get to have the membership button, and then I can put my extendeds here instead of on Vimeo.com, although I might still put them on Vimeo.com, actually. I don't see why, though, if everything's here, but you would be able to see all of the extended reads, right, for one price a month. So the extended for this one will be on Vimeo.com. There will be a preview at the end giving you one extra card. There are only 24 cards in this contract spread, a soulmate contract spread. 10 here, 14 there, but you'll be able to see the 11th if you stick around for the preview at the end. Otherwise, we are doing a soulmate contract read. Divine feminine on this side, divine masculine on this side, center lane, the contract itself, in other words, her, him, them, has nothing to do with bodily gender. I say it every time because it's important to say it every time. When I work on divine feminine on a date, that's a nice way of saying it, I'm the divine masculine, so there you have it. Shall we move on? Soulmate contracts, you help each other heal. They're not all sexual romantic, but those are the ones we are going to be looking at in this contract read, because that's what the ones people want to know about, the ones that we've been doing lifetime after lifetime after lifetime trying to get right, you know? Parent-child relationship, everybody's got them, right? You've learned the love there. It's a different kind of soulmate. My mom is my soulmate that way. We help each other heal. We give each other the love that we want, right? As opposed to twin flame, there are links in the description box explaining the differences between the two, though they are both soul contracts. But to say that my pantheons of the divine that do these readings through me gave me a very specific intention for these readings, and I even wrote it down so it's in front of me. May these readings help the soulmates heal so they may help heal the world heart by heart, meaning that through the unity consciousness and the quantum entanglement of soulmate contracts, as you heal you, you're helping them heal, whether you know each other or not, whether you're together or not. So this is to get you some info if you're already in one. If you're wanting to attract one, heal yourself, love yourself. Look at what you've learned from all your twin flame contracts. Just like soulmates, you have many more than just one, and they're not all romantic sexual. But my father, twin flame contract, right? Taught me how to heal myself, taught me how to love myself, because he couldn't give me the love I wanted, but he certainly gave me the love that I needed, right? So, tricky shit. It's just tricky shit, soul contract, and I know it's a new definition, but it makes so much more sense than what's going on in the metaphysical vernacular. Just saying. Shall we get down to biz? It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Focus on your breath. Fixed air signs, right? Focus on your breath. Be in the present moment. Take what resonates as it comes. Check your other signs, because your sun is going to get different stuff than your moon, your rising, and your Venus. And, of course, there's an extended. I think that's everything. All the decks that I'm reading are in the description box below. Let's get Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and the contract itself on the table. Take a nice deep breath. There you are, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Ooh, I feel that. Please. I need 3 cards for the Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, soul mate contract. October 2020 or timeless whenever they are catching this, please. Yep. Remind me, I will absolutely bring that up. Please, I need 1 card to represent the Divine Feminine. There we go. 1 for the Divine Masculine. Just leave that in my hands. That's 2. I'll take it around one more time if you want, focusing on the Divine Masculine in this Aquarian soulmate contract. That's him. Okay. And 1 for the overall Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. October 2020 or timeless. I felt that one, and I think you did too. Okay, now remember, if you're new to this, how could you remember? Archetypes are tricky, right? They're neutral. There's lead and gold, shadow and light, toxic and healthy. As you heal this within yourself, you're helping the other heal through quantum entanglement. But if you're already together, you can help each other heal this stuff. And not in the tumultuous, traumatic, triggery way like a twin flame, but in the satisfying, symbiotic, sympathetic kind. So, who is our couple? Oh, we've got the nature child. Hey, nature girl. Nature boy. And the artist archetype. So a survival family archetype. Everybody has the child archetype. Not everybody has the nature child archetype. And the Divine Masculine has the creative family archetype of the artist. So this, you can feel, has a vibe to it, right? This is a story. We could, if we put our minds to it and our memories to it, we could find a story with a nature child and an artist in it somewhere in history, right? Some mythology or something there. This feels really, I hate to use the word holistic in this way. I want to say holographic, but there's something very holistic around here. So let me read you the attributes for the Divine Feminine, the nature child, because everybody has a child archetype. Child, victim, saboteur, prostitute. Read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace. MYSS, this is her deck. Trust me, she's one of the best on planet Earth. Shadow attribute, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. And you know, you got to wonder when you see that in the world, is that the rage of a child, right? Taking over and doing stuff like that, the pain of a child, right? The light attribute, friendships with animals, communication with animal spirits. I have the nature child. I mean, I talk... My cats, they're my sons, right? I mean, I have a relationship with a praying mantis on my deck, DECK, just make sure I'm communicating clearly, right? So I can feel, I love this divine, whoever she is, and remember, could be a guy, absolutely. You know, we're not talking gender here. That feels really lovey squishy, like not getting the shadow side in there at all, right? At all. For the Divine Masculine artist, right? Because for an artist to be attracted to a nature child, they couldn't, you know, well, that's a shadow attribute. Using talent as an excuse to mistreat others. Oh no, we've never seen that come from an artist anywhere. Let us count the ways, right? Posing as the starving artist to elicit pity, although I've never been around an artist who feigned poverty, right? Like, it was all kind of obvious there. If anything, trying to make themselves look more successful than they are, but I get it, right? You know, to elicit pity. The light attribute, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So look, let's just unpack this briefly, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not an artist. Well, you may not be, but archetypes are eau de toilette, cologne, perfume, right? 3 levels of intensity. I'm a perfume fucking artist. This is what I do. Tarot, metaphysics, reality creation, right? I mean, it's just part of my creativity. I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm a teacher, right? All of that. If it wasn't for my Leo rising, I'd be really very, very quiet, hermity person. So I have the artist full force in my archetypal chart, lifelong Chronos, from birth to death. I will be an artist. But to understand Art can be through your cooking. Art can be through the way you speak. It's about creativity. It's the creativity family of archetypes, which you could say this would be like the major arcana of. But there's the gardener, right? There's, oh, please, there's so much depth. You can almost, in a way, you can never stop exploring an archetype because they're in the collective unconscious, right? So this vibe feels fabulous between the two, especially that expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses feels for me in this sense more intuitive and spiritual, more fifth dimensional perhaps. So I like these two. Now I'd love to flip over that center card, but I kind of, that's for the preview at least, and for the extended. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, bam. Let's get 3 for what's going on inside of them, right? Sort of like in the present moment, I guess, when they're watching this. And also, so maybe you are an artist nature child, right? Maybe you identify with both of those so far. Let's see what's going on inside. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, my goddesses, the collective divine feminine. For me in this moment, for sure, Athena. Gray-eyed goddess of wisdom, stratospheric sky goddess, the Aquarian looking from the fixed air of the stratosphere down, please. Could I please have 3 cards in clarity for this Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, satisfying, sexual, soulmate contract for October 2020, or timeless. 1 for the divine feminine, thank you. 1 for the divine masculine, thank you. And 1 for the overall contract that we will look at, of course, in the extended on Vimeo.com. Boink. Okay. Nature child with the moon. Okay, so being that this is a divine feminine, I'm just going to go for it and say that the intuitive part is so plugged in right now for the divine feminine. And yes, there may be some confusion as to whether what you're feeling is your emotion or guidance. And to understand there is such a thing as emotional guidance, but that's an exploration. That's not just a simple soundbite, right? To go deeper in this, right? Particularly if this is the Aquarian, really look to what your moon sign is. Just heard that. I think that's just general wisdom when the moon card pops up, as with the sun card, I would suppose, or yeah. So no, there's a deep knowing here. I always feel like, though, people say, you know, something is hidden, right, with the moon, and I get that, right? The more yin, right? The more but it's hidden within you, maybe. But also, I remember standing at the beach, Atlantic Ocean, Fire Island, Cherry Grove, many years ago, summer solstice, still in my 20s, I think. Full moon, path of silver light coming right to my feet. And I just heard, like, when the path is always under your feet. The intuitive path is, you're never off that path. But there are times when the moon is full and you're standing at the water's edge where it reveals itself. And I think that's symbolic as well. When you're really tuned in, right? Really working with it. So tune yourself to nature, right? That nature child there can also entrain itself to the cycles of the moon. I mean, I first learned about entraining with the cycles of the moon from the Mists of Avalon by Blessed be Marion Zimmer Bradley. May her Summerland time be delightful. But it's a thing. It's where you tune yourself to the cycles of the moon in all sorts of different ways. Let's just leave that there. Very, very, very deep, very, very, very powerful, but feels like she's very tuned in to what's going on here. So for this artist, right, what do we got for the divine masculine artist? Well, the 9 of Blades, criticism. Now, criticism means so many different things. I kind of like to go through the word. It would take me an hour, right, to look at all the different meanings of criticism. And certainly all the arrows here are pointing towards the center, right? So this can be intense critical focus on something inside of themselves, as an artist will do. It's yin, it's internal world, but that does say that the mind might be so focused and pinpointed on things that you see, like you do in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the 9 of Swords, sleepless nights, right? Obsessive mind, but searching for that final sword that would make it a 10. Now, I know everybody says it's betrayal. Everybody says that, but, you know, that's like the vernacular, betrayal, stabbed in the back, because the dude stabbed in the back in the 10 of Swords. it's about a resolution. It's like, well, it's done. It's done, and here comes the sun, do, right? Sorry. Probably a lot of inner focus. I wouldn't know if there would be communication between them just from that, but that's the inner stuff, right? So, the Moon and the Nine of Blades, the Nine of Swords. Let's see what's going on top of that, which would be the Yang, the divine masculine, what's going around in the outside world, or at least their own feminine expressing to the masculine, the yin to the yang, as it does particularly for an artist, one would think, because that's their internal art comes out that way. Breathe. Lots of shift. Oh, for my gods of Aquarius, Heracles, great hero god, the 12 labors of empowerment, back from human to demigod to god. Please, I need 3 cards in clarity, if you will, for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, soulmate contract. October 2020 or timeless, please. What's going on the outside for this divine feminine? What's going on the outside for this divine masculine? And for the overall contract, please, that we will see in the extended. Thank you, my beloved hero god. So again, we've got the child, the nature child, with the moon, and that, I'm just telling you, empathically, I can't say for everybody watching this, but for a predominant, like more than 50, give me a percentage, yeah, like 75%. This feels really good and really tuned in, feeling this. Again, I can't tell if they know each other yet. It's too, well, there's a spectrum, right? What's going on the outside? Page of Pentacles. An opportunity arises in the physical world about something physical. Now, with the nature child archetype, that could take on all sorts of different opportunities offered to her, because I do very much feel that the nature child, with such a physical offer with that moon, she's gonna know. But I could see the confusion. Is this my emotion? Emotions tend to be up here. Survival intuition tends to be lower 3 chakras, right? So ground yourself, right? There, it's like, what does your instinct say? Not your fear, right? And judgments are often intuitions. At the center of judgment, see the judgment as lead. There's a golden nugget of wisdom in there, a truth, right? So you have to melt down the lead to get to the goal. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely an opportunity coming here. I mean, I so agree that pages are messengers, right? Not necessarily indicating what the message is, but the form of a messenger, at least. So, and I don't feel like that's an intuitive message. I feel that that's something that comes from the physical world. Yes, she could initiate an opportunity here as well. I could see that as well. Yeah, let's just keep going and see. Because we got the divine masculine artist, thinking, obsessed perhaps. And on the outside, 5 of Wands. So in struggle, in battle. But does this feel like conflict? This feels like, you know what it feels like when an artist can't art? I just made it a verb, right? They get twitchy, right? They're in conflict. It's both an inner and an outer conflict here, right? So if this is purely about this contract in and of itself, where he is really overthinking it, but there's some conflict of not being able to express themselves or perhaps bring this into form in a way. I mean, it's the battling for the golden fleece. It's Jason and the Argonauts. They're literally slaying this dragon to get the golden fleece to complete the quest given to them by Zeus, right? So it's necessary, but it's also big change and takes a lot of fire energy to do that. So this could be an internal struggle about this, or in other words, it's going to play itself out that way in so many different ways. Let's keep going. They're just saying that the next cards will explain. Okay, that would make sense because we're doing the Whispers of Love Oracle. Yeah, the reading just took a jump with that one. Because perhaps this is fierce introspection. Okay, this is coming in for some of you, if you're actually like artists and embracing that for yourself, that the gestational process of creativity is alchemical and it takes time, right? So if this is impatience, particularly in terms of the Nine of Blades, just you can't over control that stuff. All right, the caterpillar doesn't know how to become a butterfly, it just goes into the cocoon, right? Liquefies and then is born with wings, reborn with wings. So let's ask your higher selves. The higher selves have all involved fifth dimensional and above. There you are. Hello. The higher selves have all involved for this divine feminine, or the higher selves of the collective divine feminine here, for the divine masculine here. One card each for her, for him, and for them in the Aquarian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, satisfying, sexual, soulmate contract still feels yummy. October 2020 or timeless, please. One for her, and if you would, one for him, and if you could, one for them. The overall contract. Yeah, the higher selves are like humming. That feels really, really good. All right, so divine feminine, nature child, an offer on the outer, giving or taking, feels like it's gonna play it out either way. Like maybe the divine feminine is offering, and this dude's in Five of Wands, right? But there's something that feels right about it, though. If it's not fear, because we have to embrace our fears and all that stuff. But for the nature child, this might be something that is like a friendliness that's just in your nature, right? Like I talk to animals. Yesterday I was saying a prayer about somebody and two blue jays just sat right in front of me on my fence, looked at me, tweeted each other and flew away. I was like, thank you. I was like, there was my answer, right? So but you might as well be getting messages, right? You might be having totemic experiences. I mean, I have a family of praying mantises. Oh, next year should be full of them. I want them here. I mean, I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. And they're a totem of someone special to me as well, who I was thinking about at the time. So you see what I'm saying? It's like there's a message coming to you here as well about all of this. Just take it in stride. So what is love who you are? Is the whisper of love from your higher self. This is the Whisper of Love Oracle. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer, right? I like you. I like this vibe for you. Big, 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 big time. And honestly, with that moon card, you're feeling it. Like you're feeling like if any mystical connection you are making through nature, I mean, everything's divine. It's one light appearing as all different things. So love who you are. I mean, look at what you've learned from your twin flame contracts, from your tumultuous, tricky ones, how you've learned how to love yourself. And plug that into the innocence of your heart and your connection to nature. And then that child can really feel safe, right? That no matter what happens, you talk to that child in your heart and just say, I love you. Want to get your feet in the dirt? Let's get our feet in the dirt. Come on, kid. But then, we got to take a shower because we have to do this, and this, right? Parenting, inner child work, call it what you want. All right, for the divine masculine, the artist, again, this is internalized. Like, I would say that the Nine of Blades, the Nine of Swords, inner stuff, not outer, that it really is not just an introspection, that there's something critical about it. This could be an artist being incredibly critical with themselves, and on the outside because of some conflict. Now, if there has been a conflict between these two in terms of an argument, now ordinarily I would say that maybe as more of like a five of swords, right, a mental thing. But it feels like there's a conflict of fire here, of passion. Obviously, it's the Five of Wands. But something that is necessary to gain what is wanted, right? The Six of Wands, which is victory, right? Makes sense. So what is the Whisper of Love? Love makes a difference. Love can help heal past hurts and provides a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. I mean, there you have it. Love that part of you that is conflict. Love the anger. Love the passion. Just don't let it run the show, right? Express it, right? If anything, anger is best given to artists because you take that anger and give it the love that it needs, the voice that it needs. It giving me images of firestorm, right? And you get that on the canvas, or you get that on the dance floor, or you get that in your work, or you cook the house. I mean, my mom is such an artist, nursery school teacher. I know my arts and crafts. I can dinky a shrinky dink. I can make my own Play-Doh if I gotta. But the way her house, wherever, I mean, we used to live on the same piece of property. Now she's upstate in Saratoga. I mean, the house is just gorgeous. That's her art form. The garden is magnificent and multi-layered, right? Raised beds and all that. So regardless of the form here, channel this into your art, even if no one ever sees it. See, the thing that holds people back with the artist archetype, that they don't want to kind of dive into it, is because art has become, and has been for such a very long time, product oriented, sometimes really ignoring the process, right? That's why we get what we get in terms of what's popular and what's not. But this is a soul power at work here. So I'm really talking to you, divine masculine here. Like, if you're, if you're overthinking, it's a sign that your heart's not open. Not saying that you're not loving or a good person, but when you're in those moments, breathe into your heart. And we're trying to usually escape a pain there, right? So we go up here, up here, up here. So love makes a difference. Love can help heal past hurts, your own, as well as anything that's going on here, and provides a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. And you are important. And you know what? I feel like you're important to this person, to this divine feminine here. So, well, there you have that. 2 more cards down. That will make 10. I'll pop up the picture, do the overview, and then I'll give you the blessing, and then we're out. And of course, the preview will show, which we'll look at this center row, and then you got 9 more cards on top of those. Kuan Yin Oracle, Archangel Michael Blue Angel Oracle, and 3 Matt Kahn Healing card mantra cards. Hard to say still. Let's ask The Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Who are the angels assigned to her, to him, and to them? Breathe. Bright Raphaelites. Okay, please. My angels and archangels, I need 3 cards in clarity, Aquarian clarity, for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. For October 2020, or timeless, please. 1 for her, the angel who's walking with, assigned to her. The 1 for him, there we go. And the 1 for them in this Aquarian sexual, soulmates, romantic, all of that contract. Now, here's the thing. No matter who you are in this, you can work with all 3 angels, quantum entanglement, right? Take them one at a time, meet them all at once, then, I don't know, speed date. But the thing is, this deck does not give you the name of the angel. They give you the title or the function of the angel. So, again, we've got the divine nature archetype. Page of Pentacles, some kind of offer here. Not an Ace of Pentacles, though they're holding the Ace of Pentacles. It's the page, right? A message or a messenger with some strong emotion underneath this. And I feel that sense of magnetic pull. And to love who you are. You like, no matter what happens with this, love who you are. Because the angel walking with you is celebration. What would the angel of celebration do? Bring you things to celebrate, perhaps, or perhaps prepare you for a celebration, right? Heal you into that. Have you ever had something heal where there is a sense of celebration? On the card at the top, there is the full moon. So something like a rite of passage has completed, or a stage of development that is worth celebrating. And that's like I said, I'm feeling like this yummy fun side over here. Fun side of this over here. I'm digging this divine. feminine. Big time. Love who you are. You love who you are. That page of pentacles on your moon like that. You big nature child. Oh, nature boy. Okay. Let's do it here for the divine masculine artist. Just battles, but it's minor arcana. This isn't the tower, right? It's not the devil. This is something, there's a struggle here, but it really is conflict, and I do feel like, is this an artistic integrity thing? Maybe for work, but in this relationship, I feel like there's just a conflict that's externalized, but it's stemming from an overthinking. So the heart is maybe caught in loops of past experiences, hence love making a difference, right? Healing past hurts and providing a sense of security and importance with the angel of harmony. So, okay, if this is a musician artist, sing. Even if it's, Death Cookie Monster, sing, yes, that's good enough for me. Which I always wanted to see that. I really think there is a YouTube on that, right? Cookie Monster doing C is for cookie, that's good enough for me, and sort of like death rage metal voice. So what would the angel of harmony do is help you get into harmony, first with you, right? The head and the heart. Right? The masculine, the feminine, the intellect, the intuition, so that the throat chakra can express itself, right? To get you through this conflict, to move you from the 5 of Wands to the 6, to victory here. And it may be artistic victory, but love making the difference. Love yourself where you are. I feel like that's such the biggest thing that we've all been given the opportunity to. I'll say we have rubbed in our noses and our third eyes in, is this turning inward, right? And giving love in that way. Like, take that here's a wow. If you're in 9 of Blades, put that into, okay, how do I love myself through this? I want to love myself through this, right? Focus. Instead of picking yourself apart, really, really go in and saying, this criticism, there's a gift in here somehow, and I want to feel what that is, right? And bless yourself. Love makes a difference. And of course, with the angel of harmony here, with the card of essentially a conflict, that's looking pretty good. So I have to say, overall, they're probably not together. And if they do know each other, if there is communication, it's probably jagged. I mean, I do feel a good vibe between them. Like, I don't feel there's necessarily animosity, but the divine masculine might really be suffering something, but the love between them is at least making a difference. At least. Is that a nice thing to say, Mark? Well, whatever's going on here, we will certainly have a look with the center lane and the 3 other oracles that I'll be bringing in. So let me pop up the picture and see what else I see. Magic. Clap. So we have the divine feminine as the nature child. The shadow attribute, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. The light attribute, friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits. And with the moon card on the inside, definitely there's an intuitive plug in here that this is a divine feminine. Oh, that is probably has an empathy with nature, just not a connection, but feeling it, and therefore might be not just the social part of empathy that way. I mean, I feel that, I could feel that, but also energetically, intuitively, divine feminine empathy, like feeling other people's stuff in her own cell tissue as though it's her own. So with this Page of Pentacles here, it is definitely an offer, an opportunity that is about here, but it is immature, right? That's the word they always say to me. I want you to think of the Page of Pentacles as holding a seed, like an acorn. There is a potential for an oak tree in there, but is it going to make it from acorn to oak tree, right? So to take the intuitive path, if you can understand that even intuitively, you're just given what you need to know right now, right? You may have visionary intuition pulling you up into the, crown chakra and above to see things from the penthouse, but then you got to come back down and take the steps anyway. So if really feel this one out. Like, I don't get a bad feeling, particularly with love who you are. You're a divine and wonderful person, deserving all the wonderful things life has to offer. I mean, it feels like this is an opportunity that's giving you something that you really deserve, and that is wonderful. And with that card of celebration on top of that, come on, the angel of celebration is preparing you for this so that you can handle the celebration well. I mean, look at how many people go into celebration and 3 days later, right? They're just dragging themselves down the street, the walk of shame, the parade of shame. So let's jump over to this divine masculine here, the artist, the shadow attribute, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity, the light attribute, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Now, I have to say, with what's going on here, I feel like this artist is more tapped in. Like, there feels like with this 9 of blades going on inside of him, that this is really driven by worry. Right? Yeah, fear and worry are similar. I said worry is one of the children of fear. But it could be an intuitive response, right? Because outside with that 5 of Wands, that externalized struggle, or the struggle that is going on between the two of them, which honestly I don't feel in the divine feminine, which leads me to think if these two do not know each other, then we're looking at 2 people who haven't met, right? This divine feminine who really kind of has it together in terms of the water, right? In terms of the earth, in terms of that connection, loving who she is, ready to celebrate, but this divine masculine is holding back. Now, the 5 of Wands isn't necessarily a card of holding back, but with that 9 of blades, focus on the inner with all that criticism. There's a lot of overthinking here, and perhaps that is causing conflict for them in their outside world as well. And certainly with an artist, if they are a perfectionist, right, depending on the type of art that it is, depending upon whether they are more focused on process or product, right? That is not that being focused on product is wrong. I mean, come on, I'm making videos for YouTube here. I edit them. I want them to be the best that they can be. That's why they take so damn long to put up, because I go through an artistic process, right? But with this card of love makes the difference. If you're the divine masculine here, love can help heal past hurts and provide a sense of security, self-worth, and acceptance. So maybe there's a way of loving what you are going through that you express it through art. That means the anger, the frustration, the sadness, the whatever the emotional or passionate or angry or wrathful fire is inside of you with this 5 of Wands, it can be harmonized to being brought into the 6 of flames, and 6s are numbers of harmony. I mean, really, these two, if they have not met yet, it does make sense. Sooner or later, it's got to happen, just not now. But if these two do know each other and are separated from each other because of a conflict, yeah, I get the conflict might be coming from the artist, but it's coming from a place of overthinking and most likely mental stress, right? You know, just a lot of things going on. Just that it's criticism means such an intense, microscopic focus that we get sometimes, particularly as an artist can get. Oh, particularly if they are criticizing themselves, right? So then where does that go, right? But it's all being brought into harmony, and there is celebration preparing here. So you probably know who each of you are right now, but really look to then, I'm feeling the words of the higher selves, the whispers of love. Love who you are, and love makes the difference. So there you are, my Aquarians. May the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their soulmate contract October 2020, or timeless to heal, to grow, to learn, to ascend in the truth of who they are, to help each other heal, and therefore help the world heal. Because may these readings help the soulmates heal, so they may help the world heal heart by heart through unity consciousness for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. There you have it, my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hang around for the preview, it's coming next. And I'll be jumping into the Vimeo read next. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of it all, my darlings. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell anyway, if you can. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign friend. How are you doing? Thank you for sticking around for the preview, and maybe you are watching this again in the extended over on Vimeo. So welcome if you have. Either way, we're gonna get right into it here. We've got this nature child, divine feminine, this artist archetype, divine masculine. Let's see what the center lane is, right? We have got the gambler. Now, this has come up before in the middle lane. I forget which reading it was because I don't put that in the title. I don't write that down. But the overall contract here, the gambler. So there is a risk here, right? So with this offer, this Page of Pentacles, like tuning to that nature child, she's like, well, like good instinct, right? Instinct is really root chakra. It's that fight or flight in the moment, feeling the room, right? Feeling groups of people, which as an empath can be a fucking nightmare, but you learn as you go, right? So the gambler archetype here, the shadow attribute, relying on luck rather than hard work, which could be sort of the thing of the child, right? The child, lucky child, right? If it works out, but it says that there's a risk here, right? And that you have to do the work to make it work. The light attribute, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you, and I'm feeling that great big huge right here. And then that doubt you, there might be some conflict here in terms of following the intuition due to overthinking. It takes the balance. I think it was Jan Van Zant who said, the heart is the compass, the mind is the compass, the heart is the map. I forget, it's one or the other, that you need both, right? The intellect and the intuition. Because just having a map doesn't help you if you don't know where north is, and knowing where north is doesn't help you if you don't know if there's a sand, quicksand, right? Something just ahead of you. Okay, so I can feel that the overall contract then, what you're learning about is taking a risk in this relationship, and that the past stuff for the divine masculine artist, right? Love can help heal past hurts. That's got to be part of the conflict here, and hence giving him his risk. For her, I'm not feeling like it's a risk for her, but that would be a healthy child archetype to be like, all right, new beginnings, let's do it, let's see. Come on, don't worry, I'll be fine, right? That innocence, that love, and that connection to really eternal nature. So if this is where we part ways for the preview, this is where we part ways. Oh, geez. But I'll tell you, there's a major arcana card here you might want to know, but otherwise, let's get into this. Ready? On the inside, we have